Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 22 of Socially Hawkward. And in this post St. Louis Blues Stanley Cup era, it is I, Jason, talking to you along with Jeffrey.
Yo.
So, the Blues won, unfortunately, and probably the most boring Game 7 Stanley Cup final ever.
Well, it's a Game 7.
Yeah, and it was so boring. Like, I was taking notes. Like, I literally have, like, the first period notes written down. But then, like, it was boring. I stopped taking notes. I'm like, I'm not going to use this. Nothing happened. The whole game was exactly the same. Bruins dominate. St. Louis blocks shots, and Binnington makes amazing saves. Then Bruins do one stupid thing.
Saves either. He made some good
He
ones.
made like 3 or 4 amazing saves.
The only part about this game that I honestly remember, I think it was the third period with like 10 minutes left. I want to say it was 2-0, and I don't know who took the shot, but Boston is like, oh, they're ramping it up right now. They're getting some shots, and there was one shot where it's like, oh, that's gonna be it right there, and then Binnington, of course, blots it.
Nordstrom had a great opportunity,
but he blots it, and all of a sudden it's Tarasenko and I don't know who else, but Tarasenko's throwing up the boards, and he went pretty much kind of parallel, like in line with the net, made a great pass between the defenseman's legs.
Is that when Pietrangelo scored?
It was a third goal, so I don't know.
When Marchand went for the change for no fucking reason?
I don't know. No, I don't know. I mean, to look up what goal it was. I'm pretty sure it was the third goal, though. But it was a great pass, and it was a nice shot. And
that might have been Braden Schen's goal.
I think it was. I know it was Tarasenko who passed it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was the Braden Schenn goal.
I'm very confident it was the third goal of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, Schenn from Tarasenko. But it's just like to go from 2-0 and then, oh man, they should have scored, to 3-0.
Well, the whole first period was they should have scored. They should have scored.
Yeah.
And then fucking Boston makes one mistake and St. Louis scores easy.
Yeah, I mean that
was the story of the entire game.
Like, this was a playoffs where it's like Rask did so well up until this point. Like, I don't know what happened, but he broke.
I don't even think you could blame any other goals on him.
I don't think you
could blame two of them on Marchand.
I'm not saying it's not actually his fault, just compared to what you're used to from him.
He definitely didn't
for these playoffs.
Didn't bail them out when they needed it.
Like, if this was a 1-0 loss or a 2-0 loss, I think Rask gets consideration for that. Conn Smythe.
Yeah.
If it's a 1-0, 2-0, or 2-1, like if he keeps it close, then I think he gets considered. Otherwise, since it was 4-1,
I still think
since O'Reilly scored.
Like, who finished in second in voting? Do we know?
It had to have been Rask or Binnington.
Like, it has to be Rask.
Him or Binnington. I think him or Binnington, but I think Rask did better.
I'd say Rask did way better than Binnington. If you count the entire playoffs.
You can't discredit what Binnington did, but yeah, no. I think Rask just did better.
Yeah.
He just, unfortunately, like,
just not that game.
Yeah.
Marchand, man, that I don't know how he's. That, like, this loss is almost solely on him.
No.
He had so many opportunities to score, and he was the reason for that second goal.
I mean, Marchand didn't score, Bergeron didn't score, Pastrnak didn't score.
Marchand had the wide open net, and he shot it into Binnington. That would have made it 1-1.
I don't know.
And on that same, I think it was that same shift, is when it was like 15 seconds left in the period, and he's getting back to play defense. It's only him and one defenseman against 3 St. Louis Blues, and instead he goes for a change. He doesn't stay and play defense. It was bad.
I just don't think any of there were times where Boston should have scored, but at the same time, like, you need, like, Bergeron needs to score. Pastrnak, like, he needs to score. Marchand.
Pastrnak, he didn't do anything.
I feel like you could say that about most of them. Like, a lot, not all of them. I'm just like, Bergeron had a he had a good game. He didn't score, but in a Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals, I want like Taze Kane. You better be scoring. It's that simple. And Bergeron didn't. Marchand did.
Well,
Who ended up getting the goal? Was it Krug get the lone? No, who got the lone goal?
I don't know.
When it didn't matter anymore.
It didn't matter, so I don't know.
I'm just curious. It was
Grizzlick?
Yeah, that one. With Krejci's assist. When there was 2 minutes left in the game and
it was already
4-1.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. St. Louis won. That sucks.
It was a very hard Stanley Cup Final Game 7 to watch.
I didn't watch all of it.
I toughed it out. Like, I still wanted to see, even if I knew St. Louis was going to win, I still want to watch them raise the cup and stuff.
Yeah, I didn't want to watch that.
But so you didn't watch them celebrating after?
No, I turned it off immediately.
You could tell no one on that team has ever won before.
Is it no one? Literally?
Not one player on the team ever won the cup. I think it's like one of the first
normally
teams
doesn't happen.
ever.
Normally you have that veteran in the
I don't know if
locker
it's the
room.
first team ever, but one of the first in a long time to not have a Stanley Cup champion on the team. But, yeah, you could tell by their celebrating. Like, they all held the cup, like, for 10 seconds and then passed it off immediately. It was weird.
Oh, you wanted them to hold on to it?
Yeah, the thing I remember as a Hawks fan is when in 2015 when Taze gets the cup, he passes it to Kimmo Timonen, and
you give it to
Kimmo skates around once and like goes to pass it off, and Taze is like, no, you skate around, keep going.
I mean,
they didn't have anyone there to tell them like, hey, take your time with this.
I mean, yeah, usually it doesn't happen
they were playing hot potato with that thing. It was crazy.
I don't know. I don't think it matters that much. They probably think they'll be here next year.
It doesn't matter. It was just...
They'll be right back where they are, right? Boston versus St. Louis 2.0?
No. I don't see either team getting that far next year.
I wouldn't be surprised if Boston did. It just sucks, too, because, like, I know at the beginning of the year, after their offseason, like, they got O'Reilly. They made some good moves. They got Perron. Did they trade for him or sign? I think they just signed him, right?
They signed him, yeah.
Like, they made a lot of good moves. They got Bozak.
I think St. Louis is the only team Perron's ever signed for.
Really?
And he's done it 3 times.
But, like, they made a lot of good moves, and, like, it was like, oh, yeah, they'll have a good year. And then they did terrible, and then it's like, unfortunately, even though it's like, oh, yeah, they're going to have a good year, they ended up winning. It's like, I don't know. Good for them, but as a Hawks fan, that sucks. I don't really care. It was just boring. Honestly, the whole series was just like I didn't watch.
There was like one close game.
I think I watched. That might have been the one game I actually watched the whole thing.
It was like Game 5, I think.
Yeah. And even that ends in controversy.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know. It wasn't very fun. It was kind of boring.
Yeah. I mean,
and it was like the highest rated game. I think Game 7 or Game 6 was like one of the highest rated games ever of the NHL.
That's just because, I mean, the team hasn't won in 50 years. So everyone's going to tune in.
It's Game 7. I don't know. I feel like there have been, like, the first round compared, like, I know there's more games going on in the first round, obviously. But, like, there's so many other series where it's like that series was so much better than this one.
Oh, yeah.
San Jose versus Vegas, so much better.
Even though the way it ended sucked.
Yeah, but even Columbus versus Tampa Bay, just Tampa Bay losing like that. That was still, I was like, holy crap, that's going to happen.
Yeah, that's only better because of the shock value, though.
Boston versus Toronto was better.
Yeah.
I can't really think of any other ones that were really like I mean, they were all probably better.
Carolina versus Washington.
Carolina versus that was a good one.
Islanders sweeping Pittsburgh. That was fun.
It was pretty much almost every first round match was better than this. I don't know. It wasn't entertaining for me. We said it was mostly blowout games with one, maybe two close games. I don't even know.
Do you read all the injuries that Boston was playing
No,
with?
I know someone cracked their ribs, or was that O'Reilly?
That was O'Reilly was playing with cracked ribs. Nola Chari had a broken sternum, and it just says foot injury. Bergeron was playing with a groin injury. DeBrusque was apparently playing with a concussion.
That's so stupid. You're a fucking idiot.
Marchand had a groin injury, abdominal injury, and a sprained hand.
Like,
a lot of groin injuries going around in this.
If you're the NHL and you're seeing that it's being released that guys are playing with concussions, I'm suspending or firing some doctor or whoever allowed him to play.
Well, I mean, they just lie. That's all I do. The player's just lying.
You have to figure out a way around that. Fine. From now on, then, you have to have a rule where, you know what, if you take a head hit or you hit your head bad on the ice, you're automatically benched the next game.
But
no matter what.
Pasternak had a thumb injury. Chris Wagner had an arm injury. That's all it says. Obviously, Chara had the broken jaw.
Yeah.
He had wires and plates
Yeah.
in his jaw. And he also had a groin injury. Oh, Grzelcyk also had a concussion.
Stupid. They're just so stupid. Why are you doing that?
John Moore had a broken humerus. He'll be out for 4 to 6 months. And Kevin Miller had, it says 2 broken kneecaps on the same knee. So he must have broken it twice. That's the only thing I can think of. He broke the same knee twice, I'm pretty sure.
That doesn't make any sense. Yeah. So do you think both teams make the playoffs next year?
Make the playoffs?
Make the playoffs.
I think Boston definitely makes the playoffs. I can see St. Louis being one to fall back and out.
Boston has a lot of free agents.
They have a lot of money, though.
Yeah, probably. Do they? I don't know.
The only big free agent, though, is the RFA Charlie McAvoy.
They need to re-sign Heinen, which isn't
that's
anyone huge, but you definitely want to keep him.
He won't get a big raise, though.
McAvoy and Carlo are the 2 big ones.
So you give McAvoy whatever he wants, and
You
if
give
you have left
McAvoy,
over for Carlo, you...
I feel like Carlo's a bigger deal than, like, he's not going to get you. He doesn't get that attention like McAvoy and Crude, but he's a good shutdown. Like, he's a good defensive defenseman. Tuukka Rast's contract is up in 2 years. He's got 2 more seasons left. But he's 32.
Yeah, that's probably a good thing. They probably want him up.
That's
a good time for a goalie contract to be up.
Yeah, he turned 32 in March, so. I mean, yeah, so they got a couple biddies, but the thing is, though, Torrey Krug is up next year. And then you obviously have to re-sign Chara next year.
Do you, though?
Huh? I mean,
do you, though?
You don't.
don't. He looked terrible.
Did he? I don't know. I didn't.
He had all these injuries, so who am I to judge? But he was just spinning in circles. Like
you need to re-sign Grizzle, whatever the
Grzelcyk.
fuck. Yep, him next year. Coyle next year if you want to keep him.
I would definitely keep Coyle. If you could re-sign Johansson, re-sign him.
Oh, he was this year too.
He had a great fucking playoffs.
So nothing too crazy, but they got 2 defensemen that you definitely want to lock up, while saving yourself money next year for Krug. You gotta save yourself money for Krug.
I think Carlo can. If you're picking, you're definitely keeping McAvoy, obviously, and if you need to save money for Krug, you might look to get rid of Carlo.
No, I don't think I want to get rid of Carlo. I like Carlo. Krug is 28. So he'll be 29 when he needs a new contract. That's a dangerous time to need a new contract.
Yeah, that's a dangerous time to give out a contract.
Yeah.
At that point, you're better off just letting him go.
I don't think you do that. Depends what he's asking for, obviously, though.
They're going to want term.
Let's see. The Blues, Maroon's a free agent. Okay, so Maroon and Thorburn are unrestricted, and then you got Barbashev, Fabry, Sanford, Sundquist, and Blaze as restricted. Delzato and Gunderson are unrestricted, and then Edmondson's are restricted, and then obviously Binnington with arbitration.
They really have
restricted.
no one except for Binnington.
I mean, they probably want Sundqvist. He's young-ish.
He won't get a lot of money, though.
He's supposed to be a scorer. He just really never panned out. Maroon, don't you want to keep Maroon?
He signed a $1 million deal last year.
Did he?
In St. Louis, because he's from St. Louis, and his kid lives there. That's why
Fabry?
He hasn't shown anything since he had those injuries.
But you gotta do Binnington, obviously. To whatever deal that is.
They have money to keep all
as
these
of right now,
guys,
18.7.
Yeah.
So Binnington.
Plenty of money to keep
so
all
what do
these
you do?
guys.
Do you give Binnington? Do you think you're getting Binnington on a deal, and you did him to like a
long term
5-6 years, like a Crawford contract, 6 years, $6 million?
I wouldn't want to go $6 million on Binnington.
That's what I'm saying. But if you think he is that good,
That could bite you.
that could be a steal.
That could bite you. I'd try and give him shorter term.
So 2 years, $5 million.
I would do that over long term. Unless he would go less for long term.
Well, I feel like $6 million is less for long. You know what I mean?
No, I mean if he would go 6 years, $4 million, I'd do that.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
That's not
but
happening.
no, 2 years, $5 million, I'll do that. That's fine.
I wonder what St. Louis fans think he's going to get.
Oh, they probably think he'll get a ton.
$9 million, $8 million.
No, nothing crazy now.
I wonder what's Price is the highest paid goalie. Who's second?
Bobrovsky,
Is it?
he's making like 9.
Well, he's not anymore.
Well, he will be pretty soon.
I'm curious about that, honestly. I wonder what in terms of goalies.
Holtby probably.
Huh?
Holtby.
Holtby. I wonder
Think
how much
Holtby's
he
up there?
makes. Position goaltender. Update. Okay, so Price is number 1, obviously at 10 mil. So who do you think's number 2?
Bob was.
No. Anyone who's restricted or a free agent right now doesn't count.
Oh, Holtby, I would say.
Holtby is number 7 at 6.1.
Who has a terrible contract?
You got 5 players to
Jeez, I can't.
between
think.
6.1 and 10.5.
Is Bishop up there?
Bishop is not up there. He's number 15 with 4.91.
Oh, he's got a good contract. That's nice.
Or 6.
It's hard. Oh, Lundqvist.
That is number 2. 8.5. I'm surprised you haven't gotten one. I'm not gonna lie. Which I guess there's a tie for number 3. Yeah. 3 and 4 have the same price tag.
Quick.
Quick is 10. 5.8. He makes less than Crawford.
Is Rask up there?
Rask is one of the people tied. I'm surprised you haven't gotten the guy he's tied with, though.
Pecorine?
No, Rene is 14. 5 mil.
I'm going through the list. Is Fleury up there?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
it.
That's understandable, though. He's won cups.
And then you got Gibson at 5 and Hellebuck at 6. I'm not too upset with that, honestly. Price, I mean,
$6 million a year is good for a goalie. You want your goalie around 6.
and an extra mil for Fleury or Rast. That's Rast is still good enough to earn that. Fleury can
See, I think
do that
Fleury is
well.
good enough because he has.
Plus,
the
he has
cups.
the history. Well,
Yeah.
I'm saying good enough right now and history. Fleury can he can go on stretches where he's that
If
good.
anything, Rask, he only won a cup as a backup.
Yeah, they never.
He
Was
never.
he not?
No, he was the backup.
2011, right?
Yep, that was the Tim Thomas year.
Yeah, 2013, the Hawks one. Was Rast the starter for that one?
I think so. Pretty sure Tim Thomas years was like 3 years max.
Surprised he played that long. Honestly, I thought it was less.
It could be.
I thought it was like 1 or 2. But I mean, honestly, Holtby at 6.1, Hellebuck barely above that, less than 6.2.
Fucking Montreal giving Carey Price $10 million. I would have traded
At
him.
one point, I mean,
I would have traded him. That's
Yeah.
insane for a goalie.
that's a lot. I don't think that's insane for a goalie, but you definitely don't want to. I mean, if you can avoid it, you don't want to pay your goalie that much. And that's an important position.
Yeah. Good luck affording defense to put in front of him now.
If you think you have the best goalie in the league, you're going to pay him that much. I mean, Lundqvist hasn't even won a
goalies,
cup.
though, it's so hard with goalies, though.
Price
It
and
changes.
Lundqvist haven't won cups, and they're both making.
The best goalie in the league changes every single season.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's no consistently best.
So where do you think Binnington ends up on this list?
Hopefully, below all those guys.
Let's assume he signs a long-term contract.
I would say around.
getting
I
over
would
6
think
mil?
around 6.
So you're thinking the Crawford and Schneider range?
Schneider's making $6 million.
Yeah.
Man, he fell off, huh?
He did so. He was the New Jersey Devils for
Like 3 seasons.
2-3 seasons like that. He kept them relevant, and it was always like, man, only if he was on a relevant team. And then now it's like the opposite. Now the Devils are actually turning that corner, and it's like, man, Schneider's really holding them back.
If only they weren't paying Schneider $6 million a year.
Like, Schneider really kicked off a few years too early. But Schneider, do you know how old he is?
No.
He's 33. I always feel like he's young. Like he backed up fucking.
Oh no, that's about right.
Backed up Luongo, I guess, for a good few years. I didn't realize that. Like, he was there for a while.
Yeah.
He was pretty much there in his prime.
They're deciding between Luongo and Schneider, and they trade them both away.
Which, honestly,
have yet
probably
to
for
get
the best.
You never know what could have happened.
I mean, they never really had the team to win after that. Oh, I'm done with goalie talk. Done with Stanley Cup talk. Do you want to go to the Philly trade or the?
Well, let me get the little guys out of the way.
Little guys out of the way.
Columbus Blue Jackets have named Rick Nash the club's new special assistant to the general manager.
What?
That's his name.
Rick
That's
Nash.
his title.
Oh yeah, he never came back like he said he might, right?
He announced his retirement.
Did he ever announce it? Because there was a long time.
I'm pretty sure he announced it.
Because it was a few months at least where he's like, I might come back. Because he was with Boston, right? Originally? Not originally, but like...
He was with Boston
last
that
season.
Yeah. Special assistant to the general manager.
Man, he really likes it in Columbus, huh?
Someone has to.
I didn't really think they parted on good terms, honestly. I thought he wanted out of there. Did he get traded to Boston from Columbus, or is there anywhere in between, or what happened? I don't even remember.
Rick Nash was in New York.
Oh,
he got traded to New York for a long time.
That sounds right. I wonder what he got traded for. He got traded twice. All right. He got... Oh, wow. Artem Anisov was on the Rangers at one point.
Probably a prospect at that point.
Well, this was 2012. So not really. He was
No,
younger. But Nash and whoever the fuck that is, and a third round who turned into Buchnevich.
Ooh.
For Tim Erickson, Artem Anisimov, Brandon Dubinsky, and a first round pick.
Dubinsky was solid at that point.
That turned into Kirby Reichel.
That's a bad pick.
Considering I don't know who that is.
That's a first round pick?
2013 first round. They were both 2013 picks. Reichel is the first. Buchnevich was the third round.
Yeah. New York definitely got the better pick there.
And then he got traded to Boston. New York retained half his salary, but New York got Bolesky, Ryan Spooner, Lindgren, and a 2018 first round pick that turned into Bernard Docker, and then this year's 7th round pick. I feel like, honestly, New York...
that's kind of a lot for what he was.
They retained half his salary, though. And that was last year at the deadline. So Boston only had him for half a season, not even half a season.
Yeah, he just finished out the year in Boston.
Damn, I feel like that is a lot. Even though with salary retained, I feel like that's...
For a guy who's going to retire the next season?
don't get me wrong, I don't really know. And I guess one of the guys New York got, they retained half his salary too, so... Which kind of trumps... Why didn't they just retain... So New York retained half of Nash's salary, which ends up being $3.9 million. But Boston retained half of Bolesky's contract, their salary, that was $1.9 million. It's like, well, why didn't New York just retain $2 million instead of $3.9 million? So much easier. Whatever. I feel like New York wins both those trades.
Yeah.
Although, like you said, Dubinsky was...
He was good at the time.
Okay. All right. What was your little stuff? What was your other thing? Do you have another thing?
The only other little smaller thing I have really is that Dion Phaneuf got bought out by the Kings.
Yeah, I didn't even know that. I missed that completely. How long are they paying him for now?
Till 22-23.
Jesus fucking Christ.
4 more seasons.
How much money?
What's weird is, okay, this season he'll be making 2.1 from LA and 700,000 from Ottawa because they share that. And then the season after that, it goes up to $4 million from LA and $1.3 million from
cap hit or cost.
Cap. It says cap hit breakdown.
Okay. Damn,
that's just weird how it goes up like that.
Yeah, I don't know. What was his contract? How bad was it? How much was he making? He was making $7 million. Wow.
$7 million.
Oof.
It wasn't only for 2 more years.
It was only 1 more year though. They had to get through.
Year?
Why don't you? You're fucking New. You're New York or not New York. You're Los. Fuck, I can't think of words. Los Angeles. Right?
They could have done that. They could have got through that.
Yeah.
You suck already.
Yeah.
Rebuild.
Yeah, that was not worth it. Toronto made that trade, really? Because Toronto signed him to that deal.
Oh. Woof.
Wow, that was a big trade, too. A lot of nobodies, though. Yeah. All nobodies.
Well, yeah, for LA came out and said that they feel like they could rebuild on the fly and compete again. It's like, not when you're fucking buying out contracts that end after the season. Like, why?
Like I'm looking at all 3 of the Phaneuf trades. None of them are just. They're all
good.
Just okay. That was a trade that happened.
How did this guy get $7 million?
I don't know what happened.
Maybe he'll go sign with Toronto now.
It definitely said the signing team was Toronto. Yeah, signing team Toronto, 2013, $7 million. He might have been the highest paid defenseman at one point.
No, what's his face?
2013?
Brian Campbell, wasn't he making more?
In 2013, I don't think so. Campbell, you think? Really?
I think he was. Maybe not.
Oh, bullshit.
But I know Brian Campbell was the highest paid defenseman at one point.
At one point. Oh.
So was it like 6.9 or is it 7.1?
7.142875.
Told you.
Damn it. Barely.
Brian Campbell. Making that money.
Wow, that was a big fucking contract. What the were all Hawks thinking there? Wow.
Did the Hawks sign him to that?
Yeah, 8 years in 08-09. That was the first year of the contract.
They traded him away immediately.
How fast did they trade him away?
After 2010.
Was it? Oh yeah, it was June 20. No, it was after
2011.
Yeah, it was after the 2010-11 season. So they had used him for 1 more year, and then they had used that contract for 3 of the 8 years, right? Yeah. And then they traded him to Florida for
nothing.
Who the fuck cares? We don't have that contract anymore. For a guy who was making
Who was it? Tell me.
3.125.
Skilly?
No, it was Oles. Rostolav Oles.
Oh, cool. Don't know who that is.
It's interesting to see all these old trades. What are we talking about? Oh, enough. Barely 7.1 foot. That was insane.
Now we're into. We'll do the re-signing first.
Eberle.
Eberle, yeah, he re-signed with the Islanders, 5 years for $27.5 million, which comes out to $5.5 million a year.
So how much of that did he get in the second half of the year? He did terrible at the start of the year. He did not do anything.
He got a raise of $500,000.
Did he?
Yeah.
And how long is he signed for?
5 years.
So that's his.
That's a solid.
Is that his last contract?
It says the first 2 years contain a full no-trade clause.
Yeah, I saw that.
The final 3 contain a modified no-trade clause where Eberle submits a 16-team no-trade list.
So he could be traded to 14 teams.
He could be traded to half the league, basically, at that point at least. Because it says in...
I said 14, but it's
that's the final
15.
3 years, so it's after 2 years. So Seattle will be a team at that point.
Oh, sure. Valid point.
So it's exactly half.
That's not bad. For someone...
No, that means he can't get picked by Seattle.
No, he has to be protected now.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to be careful handing out these no trades.
I wonder if that's why he did that.
Because he didn't want to go to Seattle?
He didn't want to go to Seattle, so he made sure he had that first 2 years no trade.
I mean, maybe. The thing is, because that's after this Nets season, right?
Does that work for no trade, or is that just no movement?
That's actually a very good question. I don't know now.
I don't know. I think he... I don't know.
I don't know. But for someone who started off like he had, like, everyone thought Eberle was going to be the straight player. Like, I loved Eberle when he was, first coming into the league. And then he didn't really produce that much, and everyone kind of hated on him. He brought it back around a little bit. Like, now that he's named, because before he was making, like, $6 million for 6 years or something. Like, now he's making, I know it's only $1 million or $500,000 less than what his high contract was, but the fact that he's producing a little more, like, I don't know, he's brought it back around a little bit.
Yeah, I didn't really like him when he came into the league, but...
I did.
He's definitely not a bad player.
I think it might be no movement, though.
Was it only no movement?
I think so. I have a way to confirm. Yeah, because I'm doing the cat-friendly thing,
draft?
and I can pick Eberle.
I was literally going to that right now. Just go see.
Yeah, and then when you go to the Hawks, it says no. It shows no movement.
Okay.
And yeah.
So he can't get picked.
Well, they can still protect him.
Yeah. But would you know?
I don't know. I'd have to look at the team. I am surprised he got that much. I thought he would have made like 4.5, 4.
I can't wait till we could actually do the Seattle expansion draft thing.
I was just gonna say that's why I was asking.
Realistically, do it.
That's why I was asking because it's after next season. It's before the actual rookie draft, though. The amateur draft, right?
Well, yeah, because it has no effect on anything.
No, I'm saying it takes place before that, though. Like after playoffs, before.
Yeah, I think so.
So, because that's a tight window.
Yeah.
Playoffs end, mid-June?
I mean, they've had 5 years to think about it.
The draft is next week.
Hmm?
So they would have to do it this week. Isn't it earlier in the day?
I think it's later. It's later. Man, we got a lot of stuff next week. Got the draft. Our hockey league starts. It's gonna be a good week.
What's next?
Trades.
There are only 2 trades, right?
Yep. So Philly traded Radko Gudas to Washington for Matt Niskanen.
Is it no salary? No.
Yep, Gudas 30% of his salary was retained. Yeah, 30%. I don't know how much money that is. I didn't look that up. It just says 30%.
There was another trade apparently. Connor Ingram for a 7th rounder.
Yeah, that's nothing though.
Yeah.
Who's Connor Ingram?
He's from Tampa Bay.
Yeah, I think he's a goalie from Tampa Bay, actually.
Oh, really? 30% though is $1 million. $1,005,000.
What's weird is, like, I could see Philly trying to get rid of a defenseman to make room for more defensemen, but to get another defenseman back is...
Making $5.75 million. Holy fucking shit. Why did you do that?
Maybe Quinville wanted him?
Quinville, Florida.
Oh, no, that's Florida, yeah. Oh, jeez. Why'd they do that?
I don't know.
Who's
It
their
was so
coach?
stupid.
Who'd they sign for their
Did
coach?
they ever sign one?
Yeah, they signed one.
I don't know. Off the top of my head. I keep thinking of Tippett, but it's not. That's I don't know why.
That's weird.
Oh, yeah. It doesn't make sense. He's 32, making 5.75 for 2 years. Like, is he really that much of an upgrade over Dudas?
Offensively, maybe.
Yeah, but you have Josh Spear, who I know had a down year. You have Sanheim and Provorov, who I know they're younger.
And they also have that Felipe Myers, who's supposed to be really good coming up, and there's another prospect that's supposed to be really good coming up.
I don't know. I don't like it one bit. They have a lot of cap space, to be fair. Right now they have 30.
They have a lot of
34
RFAs, though.
Huh?
They have to sign Sanheim
write-
and Provorov
yeah.
and Konechny and Hartman and
Hayes,
Lawton.
if they want to keep Hayes.
Hayes, they have to sign. They have a lot. They don't have a lot of cap space, so that was
Well, they do. They have 40 mil.
40 mil.
30.
Yeah,
Oh, no, I'm
also-
sorry. 33.839.
Also have like 6 guys to sign, though.
Yeah, I'm not
gonna-
saying that they don't have a lot
Provorov's
to
going to eat up
sign.
a nice chunk of that.
I don't know. I just said
Sanheim could take.
And plus, they
Konechny will
retain
eat up a
salary,
lot.
so it's like Niskanen making 6.75 instead of 5.75. I just don't understand it.
Good move for fucking Washington, though.
Yeah. Clears some cap space with that one.
A lot of cap space.
Like 4 mil about. And he has Niskanen has a modified no trade.
And Philly was.
Player submits a 10-team no trade list
Yeah, I guess I can name 10 teams that I would rather
instead
not
of
go
Philly.
to. Yeah.
Edmonton.
Ottawa.
Ottawa. I don't really want to go to Arizona, honestly. Buffalo. No, I don't want to
Yeah,
go
Buffalo
there.
for sure.
Do I want to go to any New York team? I don't really want to.
No, not
Columbus.
The Islanders. I'd go to the Islanders at this point.
Columbus, though.
I wouldn't go to Columbus. Yeah.
Personally, I'm not wanting to go to St. Louis or Nashville. That's just a personal thing.
Yeah, that's like
Ducks. Kings. That's like 11, 12 teams. So
yeah, but 2 of those were personal.
yeah. True. But still, like there's a lot of teams.
Montreal.
Yeah, I really want to go to Montreal.
Yeah. He should have gone to Toronto. They don't have the cap space for him.
Honestly, I might not even put Edmonton. No, I'd be too worried that they somehow made it work. I might not put Edmonton on that list, but then what if it somehow happens? What if they make the space? Yeah, I think Edmonton's just a staple on there, like. And then like I'd have a post-it note like every morning, like if I ever thought about taking them off for that reason, be like, no, don't do it.
They'll make it happen.
They'll somehow make it work. Oh god. But yeah, so there was that. I mean, you didn't like that trade either. I just don't. It makes no sense to me.
No, I don't like that trade.
If they were
because
getting a
I like
forward,
Philly
I guess,
and-
back, that would make more
yeah,
sense.
for a forward,
It just
would have
doesn't
been
make
really
sense.
smart. But
But then there was the other trade of Mata from
Oli Mata
from Pittsburgh to the Hawks for Cahoon and a 5th.
Dominic Cahoon and a 5th.
I don't like it.
I don't like it either.
I'm not saying Mata's bad.
Would you rather have Niskanen?
He has way too many dots over his A's, first of all. There's like 2 dots above each A, which is 6 fucking dots. What the fuck is that all about? Who does he think he is?
That's how you make it you know?
Dumb. I don't know. I'm not saying he's a bad player. I heard talks of, which I know would have costed more than Cahoon in a 5th, But I heard thoughts earlier of Hamilton and Falk. It's like trade Sod. Like, okay, up the price because you're going to have to, but the reason you have to up the price is because the quality of defenseman you're getting back is better. The only reason I'm okay with it, them not getting one of those two guys and getting Mata, is because when it comes to expansion draft time, okay, leave Mata available. You pretty much trade Cahoon in the 5th, assuming Cahoon doesn't actually turn into anything. Then
I think he might. I think he's going to be solid.
Assuming he doesn't turn into anything, and you let Mata get taken in the expansion draft, which hopefully he does.
He was doing great in the beginning of the season on the first line.
Yeah.
He was doing really good.
That's what I'm saying. I'd rather have kept the potential of Cahoon.
If you put him on a line with, like, Crosby, if he gets a chance with Crosby, he could be a beast.
Yeah, he could shoot.
He could be the new Hornquist. The new Connor Sherry. Who else? Whose other careers did Crosby
Kunitz
make?
you're forgetting about.
Kunitz.
I feel like that was the majority of them, right?
There's one more I can't.
Yeah, not Sherry, but the other guy.
Yeah, the other one.
Can't think of it. Is he still on that team? I think he is. Who is it? Fuck. It's gonna bother me. Denzel. I don't know. It makes me worried about what other potential trades will come.
Well, yeah, because Stan Bowman came out and said that the chatter is there's a lot of trade chatter going around, and he'll be active.
Don't do it.
See, my thought process,
wait.
my way of getting into Stan Bowman's head was he traded for future first-round pick Dylan Strome.
And Perlini, right?
Was Perlini a first-round pick? He might have been. And it worked out really well in his favor. So now he's just going to trade for everyone's old first-round picks that are underachieving, which Mata is a 2012 first-round pick.
I think Perlini is as well.
Yeah.
No, 2014. Let's see. Yeah, he was taken. They're 12th overall in 2014. Perlini, that is.
Yeah, I'm just worried about what it's going to lead to. Like, I would like it a lot better if Mata was only signed for like 2 more years. But I'm pretty sure his contract's for 4 more years.
Mata?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure I looked it up already.
I feel like it's 3 more years. I don't know. Yeah.
Through the 21-22 season.
Yeah, 3 more years. With a modified no trade the last 2.
Ugh.
So, like I said, after this season, hopefully he just gets taken in the expansion draft.
Yeah.
Best case scenario. Because that clears up $4 million cap space.
But now they can't take Seabrook in the...
Seabrook has no movement, doesn't he?
Know.
That's an interesting thing to look at, even though it's a little too team, is who can be taken? Who do the Hawks have to protect?
It's a little early for that.
I said it was a little early, but just see a little bit of an idea. Like, Taze and Kane, Keith and Seabrook, Crawford have to be protected.
Crawford will have a new contract.
Well, if he has a new no movement, I think they'll give it to him. It's Bowman. He will. Come on. DeBrincat will probably have a no movement, so you'll have to protect him. But that one I'm okay with.
Yeah. Just don't give out any more no movement clauses.
I'll give it to DeBrincat.
Don't.
I'll allow it.
Don't.
No trade.
Yeah, no trade. Modified. You could give me 3 teams you could be traded to, and I'll make that work. Give him the San Jose deals.
Yeah. I'm looking at who they could potentially take, and as of right now, if Anisimov's still on our team, take him, or if Mata's still on the team. Honestly, I like Murphy, but if those 2 guys aren't taken, then take Murphy. Because at this point, Mata and Murphy, I feel like kind of same role. I don't know who does it better, but...
Well, Murphy and Seabrook are only right-handed defensemen. Pretty sure it's Murphy and Seabrook. Seabrook for sure. I'm not sure about Murphy. I know we
How
only
many
have,
people can you protect? Isn't it only three
it's
defensemen?
8 overall.
It's only 3 defensemen, right?
I don't think it matters for like the amount of forwards.
Because they have to protect Yoki Haru.
Yeah.
And you have to protect Seabrook and Keith. So then you're leaving Mata, Murphy, potentially Gustafson, and Toto and Dahlstrom available.
Okay.
I'm fine with all of those.
Take
Except
any one of
Gustafson,
those.
but hopefully they just trade Gustafson. His trade value up there, trade him.
Yeah.
Because
he'd
if
have to
he's
sign
still
another
available,
contract, too.
then they're going to take him. Unless you sign him to a ridiculous contract, in which case they won't take him.
Yeah, I'd say we have to trade him at the deadline.
And then
Or if you could, honestly, they might trade him on draft day.
Gustafson, maybe. I mean, obviously
They got a
Bowman's willing to
defenseman.
do that.
They have so many left-handed defensemen right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they got Keith, Mata now, Gustafson, Forsling, Cuckoo, and Dahlstrom. They have 6 left-handed defensemen.
Isn't it? I want to say it's 5 forwards, 3 defensemen, 1 goalie you can protect. There's a version where you can protect 2 goalies. But I don't remember. It might just be 2 defensemen. And 2
But you
goalies.
you also have to expose a goalie. You have to expose at least 1 goalie.
I mean, I don't think it hurts. Oh, well, then you might lose Delia.
Yeah, I'd rather keep Delia than Crawford.
Well, it depends what kind of contract Crawford's got.
And then you got that the kid from Finland, the Linkinen guy.
Yeah, but as long as he stays, I
in
mean,
the minors.
as long as he
enough.
right, that's how it works.
Yeah. They have to play
That's
so many.
tricky. How are they going to do this?
I have a feeling that's why they're making Boquist and all them stay in the minors.
Yeah, no, that made sense. Plus, they could probably use another year.
Yeah, that too. That doesn't hurt.
I'm wondering how they're going to do it though with the 3 because they might be 5-3-1 normally, but like I said, there is a way where you can protect 2 goalies, but you still have to expose
one.
someone. I don't know how that would work.
You'd have to
Forsberg?
trade for a goalie.
Forsberg.
Yeah, there you go. Maybe that's why they're keeping him. No other possible reason.
Oh, no, what just happened? So assuming it's 5-3-1, it's Kane, Tays. You have to.
DeBrincat,
DeBrincat, that's 3.
Strome.
4.
You leave Sod open.
Why?
Let him take that contract.
It's only 2 more years, though. At that point, it's 1 more year. I don't know if I do. Sod still has a little bit of trade. I'm thinking Sod's gone by then, honestly.
I'd say Anisomov's gone by then.
I think both are. So in this case, can you just protect Tays, Kane, and DeBrincat and Strome? And I think, like I said, I think it's 5, but can you move that instead of protecting 5 forwards, protect 4, and then protect a goalie? I feel like I need to look this up. Plus, I don't think the rules are set in stone every expansion.
They said
pack.
it's the same.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they said it's the exact same as the Vegas one.
Okay. Okay. Clubs will have 2 options for players they wish to protect. 7 forwards. Oh, Jesus, it's more than I thought. Okay, so this works out. 7 forwards. Oh, maybe not. 3 defensemen and 1 goaltender. Or 8 skaters and 1 goaltender.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was pretty sure there was no
How
way
does that
to-
make sense, though? 7 forwards, 3 defensemen, and a goaltender? Or 8 skaters and 1 goaltender?
If you want to protect more defensemen, it costs more.
Oh, I guess, but I don't think the Hawks will have to worry about that. But I don't.
They can though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you're okay with the forwards being taken,
You could save Murphy then.
how do you? There's a way to protect 2 goalies though. How is this?
I don't think there is.
There
I've never
is,
seen that.
I swear. Goal.
Because that was the huge thing with Pittsburgh. That's why Fleury left. They couldn't protect 2.
So you just
goalies.
hope that there's other better goalies out there, and hope they don't. Who do you protect, Crawford or Delia?
I'd protect Delia over Crawford.
What if Crawford's still Like, what if he's healthy? What if this season he just one full season under his belt, completely healthy, wins the Vezina?
Wins the Vezina?
Wins the
Well, then
Vezina.
you have to protect him, obviously. Well, then, how much does he want in his contract?
He wants 6 mil.
I don't know. That's tough. For how many years?
4.
Oh, yeah, I'll keep him then.
Till he's 38?
Yeah, that's fine.
At 6 mil?
Yeah.
And then he gets a concussion next year and he's out there 2 more years?
And then he's out. You trade him
I
to,
swear
then
there
you
was-
trade him to Arizona.
I thought there was. I guess that sounds right, though. Just why wouldn't they have kept Fleury and Murray? Or what they'll do is they'll make some
Make a deal.
shitty-ass trade.
Yeah.
Because I feel like some teams made some, like in terms of Vegas, they could have taken advantage of some teams, and they made some. Oh, we'll take your 5th, and we won't take your best player. I think Minnesota got away with that. So I think Dumba or someone was like had to be exposed, and they're like, look the other way, we'll give you a 5th.
Well, they had like 4 defensemen that they
Yeah.
wanted to keep.
So that's probably the route they'll go. But that,
I don't see that much of that happening now. I think teams are way more prepared this time around.
well, I think it was just Vegas that mainly fucked up. Like I said, I think Vegas should have taken more advantage of teams.
I don't know.
feel like they did.
Seeing how good they're doing, I think they did a pretty decent job.
Obviously, but like I said, I feel like I want to say it was Minnesota mainly. Like they could have had either Dumba or this person or that person is like, oh, take this pick and like take like Holla. Who,
Well-
again, good player, but they should have had better.
It was a defensive prospect they ended up taking, wasn't it?
Well, they took Holla.
Well, they also got traded something though.
Oh, did they? I don't remember. But
Like Columbus,
7
they traded Carlson for them to take. I forgot who they took. But Carlson was in a trade, so they would take someone else. Or they got a pick or something, so they would take Carlson. And Carlson ended up being scoring 70 points that year.
Yeah. What team was he from?
Columbus.
It was Columbus?
Yeah.
Wow, they fucked up.
Yeah, that was a bad move.
So if
Hey,
you're
they could get him back now.
if you're protecting 8 skaters, I'm doing Kane, Taze, Strom, DeBrincat, that's 4. You have to do Siebert and Keith, that's 6. And then
Yogi Haru.
Yokuharu,
And
that's
Murphy.
7. Maybe is Gustafson still here? Do you guys protect him instead? I think I do.
No.
And then just Murphy or Mata, one of them gets taken.
I don't know. I think I protect Murphy because I think
No.
he's more important to the team
If
than
Gustafson's
Gustafson
still
is.
on the team, the reason I protect Gustafson is so that they do take Murphy or Mata, so that 4 mil, they most likely
Well,
take. It
if
increases the
Gustafson's
chances
signing
of,
another contract, it's higher than the 4
True,
mil.
valid point. I don't know.
I just think
It's a little too soon.
all their prospects are like offensive defensemen.
Yeah, I agree.
So you
except
don't
for
need
Ian
Gustafson.
Mitchell, yeah. Ian
You
Mitchell's
need
really the
Murphy.
only one.
You need a defensive defenseman.
Well, you'd have one of them, Mata or Murphy.
Mata is, I don't know. I have to see him more,
Yeah.
because he wasn't supposed to be a defensive defenseman. Let's just say that.
It'll be interesting. It's still a little soon, but like half these players, like Saad probably won't be here, Nismov probably won't be here. Gustafson might not be here. No, it'll be interesting. And they only get one player from each team, right? There's no way for
Yeah,
them to take
it's
a
one
second.
player, unless they make trades.
Yeah. I don't think it'll be that bad. Who'd they take the first time around? Was it not Terrell?
Trevor
Van
Van
Riemsdyk,
Riemsdyk, and then
yeah.
they traded
Trade
him
him
to Carolina.
instantly to trade. It was like an hour later or something,
Yeah.
wasn't it? Like he was on 3 teams all within
Yeah,
an
I got
hour
my
or two.
TBR Vegas jersey.
That'd be funny. I don't have anything else besides the armchair GM stuff. Do you have anything?
The only thing I saw was the Jets are listening to offers on Ehlers
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of
because
Ehlers
of cap
stuff.
issues.
Really? That's unfortunate. I like him. If the Hawks can somehow snag him up, just fucking do it. I think he's a good player.
I like Ehlers. I think it'll cost too. I mean, it's just gonna be. They're not gonna want players though.
I
They're gonna
feel
want,
like that fits as your like the Hawks
They're gonna
have
want
needed
prospects.
a top like they need another winger in the
another top
six.
6 winger. Yeah.
And I feel like that fits as it right there.
I mean, but you could sign
Yeah, I'm not saying there's. I'm just saying like I like Ehlers. That'd be cool.
I don't know. I would like Ehlers before last season. I don't think he had a great season.
He's already got a contract.
It's a big contract, though, isn't it?
7 years. His first year was his last one. $6 million.
Yeah,
It's not terrible.
I'll trade you Saad for him.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like they could make it work. I just don't know what they want in return. So, do you consider trading Yogi Haru, Mitchell, Vodkis, or Bodine for him?
I mean, I would definitely consider trading Mitchell because he's going to play his senior year and we won't have his rights anyways.
You don't know that. He's our only defensive prospect, though.
Yeah, but I just don't think he's going to sign with us.
Defensive defenseman. I don't see why you wouldn't want to.
Bowen Byram will be fine.
If you're Ian Mitchell, why? I mean, I feel like the Hawks
They need the defensive defenseman
especially
right now.
too. Like I know it looks tight in their defense right now, but if you prove yourself, like just they'll move people
Is he
around.
a righty
like,
or a lefty? He's got to be a lefty.
I don't know. I mean, most of them are lefties, right?
Yeah, that's why righties are so. I'm gonna make Carter be a right-handed defenseman.
Oh yeah, I think he's gonna be a
Make-
goalie.
Make prime money. If he's goalie, I'll make him a lefty.
Ian Mitchell will return to Denver. Plans to sign with the Blackhawks in 2020.
Sure he does.
I don't know what handedness he is though. There's a picture of him though. He's a righty.
Yeah, he would be on the team right now.
I'm looking at a picture of him.
I know. I'm saying if he'd signed, he would be on the team right now.
I thought you were saying like, no, he's a lefty. I'm like, no, he's holding the stick like I would. He's a righty, damn it. Damn. Assuming that's him in this picture, why wouldn't it be? I don't know. Yeah, he's definitely a righty. How old is he? 20 then? I hope he resigns. I liked him. I'm honestly, out of all the Hawks, if they trade one of their defensemen, I hope it's either Vodkis or Bodine. Specifically Bodine.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not that high on Boquist.
I don't know. I heard he had a good year. Plus, he's working on his defense like he should be. He's fast.
Yeah.
Stick
I
handle.
like Bodine, though.
I haven't heard much about him, honestly.
Did you ever find an armchair GM?
Yes, I found one.
Oh, okay. Let's do yours first then, because mine's probably going to take some thinking.
Oh, Jesus. All right. Toronto's the team I'm working with.
Or you'll just shoot it down immediately. One of the two.
Toronto's the team I'm working with. They made 4 trades. 2... It's mainly one big one, I guess. Well, it's definitely one big one. We're going to save that one for last. They sign... They re-sign... I won't tell you that, actually. They get Furland. They sign him to a 5-year, $4.25 million contract. Dzingel, 5 years, 5.75.
So all the usual suspects.
And then they actually re-sign Hainsey, 1.5. And Curtis and McElhinney, 2 years, 1.5. There's only one I'm not telling you about.
Marner. For stupid low money.
All right, trade with Edmonton. I'm not going to play this game with you with this. This is Connor Brown.
Connor Brown for
2 pits, 7th and a 3rd.
Oh, no betting?
No. Toronto gets a 2nd-round pick from Arizona, and they send a 1st-round pick back to Arizona.
Marlowe.
There you go. Yeah. Ottawa. They're trading. They get DeMello from Ottawa.
This will be tough. Who the hell is...
They just get DeMello, but they're trading away Zaitsev, Sparts, a 2nd and a 4th. The only trade that I really am like, whew. What to tell you?
Nylander trade or a Kadri trade?
Oh, what?
Or is it both?
Nylander or Kadri?
Or are they trading Is this the Matthews one that you're bringing up?
I don't know what to tell you. Which side?
Who is they trading with?
Colorado.
Colorado. Well, Colorado could use a little bit of everything,
So Toronto's getting a player and a pick, Colorado's named 2 players and a pick. Oh, this is tough. I don't know.
One of those players is definitely Kadri. 100%.
Why is it Kadri?
Maybe a Kapanen? Kapanen or a
I'll tell
Janssen?
you Kapanen's in there. You want to just assemble this straight from scratch here?
Is Kadri in it then?
No, Kadri's not.
No? Is Janssen the other
I'll
one?
tell you the first round coming to Toronto is Ottawa's first round of this year. So the 4th overall. And then there's a 3rd round pick going back. And you got so
they train.
You know the 2 picks, and you know Kapanen. You're just missing one player from each side.
Is it Nylander?
No Nylander.
It's not Matthews.
It's not Matthews.
Is Marner?
Yeah, it's Marner.
You said they resigned. Oh, that's why they resigned, and they traded him.
No, they re-signed Johnson, Andreas Johnson, 6 years,
okay.
$4 million. That's the only one I didn't tell you.
6 years, $4 million.
So you're just missing what Toronto gets from Colorado.
For Marner.
So Toronto got a 2019 first of Ottawa. So 4th overall this year.
It's got to be McKinnon. It can't be anything
Not
else.
McKinnon.
Isn't Rantanen, really?
No.
What the fuck are they getting back? That's all it could be. Barry?
No. I knew this would stump you a little bit. The first comment is, well, I'm sure this is going to be a civilized discussion.
Makar?
There you go.
Ugh.
I mean, you're getting Marner back. I mean, you're building your second line at the cost of your 4th overall pick and your number 1 defenseman.
That could be 2 number 1 defensemen.
It could be. Yeah, you're right.
For Marner.
Either 2 number 1 defensemen or number 1 defenseman and a second line center, which is... I don't...
Man, that's
a tough one.
if I'm
Who are you like most like?
if I'm Colorado, I don't do it. That's a lot of defensemen are worth a lot more than wingers.
Marner.
But I do think Marner's worth a lot. I do think Marner could be worth that. But
I mean, and it's not like, and they gave him more than that. Like they gave him Kapanen, who I know. I'm not saying Kapanen's worth that much, but he's worth something.
yeah,
And then a 3rd rounder too.
I think that definitely benefits Toronto a lot.
That just hurts because it's Makar, who's
But
potentially a number 1, and then they're trading away a pick that is also potentially a number 1 defenseman.
yeah, if the Hawks don't pick Byram,
They definitely
that's
are.
definitely.
Byram does not get past the 4th pick, no matter what.
I agree.
So every fucking mock draft that has him going 5, 6, 7, no. If the Hawks don't take him, Colorado's taking him.
I was listening to, it was the Hawks Talk podcast, and they had Craig Button on there, who he'll rank his draft picks, like who he thinks is going to go where, or not. It's not even who he thinks is going to go where.
Mock draft? Or
Yeah,
like a
it's not mock draft. No, it's just their
prospect rankings?
Yeah, rankings. He obviously had 1 and 2, and then
Hughes, Capo.
he had Byram. He said 100% number 3.
Yeah.
And he said he would even consider, if he was New York, he would even consider drafting Byram
Wow.
and passing on Kako.
That would be insane. Can you imagine the shit show if that happens? That's what I'm saying. I would not rule that out.
I mean, I really want the Hawks to draft Byram. I really hope
But
they don't go with the forward.
If
I mean, if Kako's there, yeah, sure.
I mean, because New Jersey could easily be like, oh, we want Kako, and they could be like, oh, and New York could be like, well, we had our mindset on Byram.
No.
You don't know.
No, there's zero chance that happens.
Kako, had a good enough tournament where he could have easily pushed Hughes down to 2nd.
I don't think so. I think Hughes goes first no matter
I think
what.
Hughes goes first, but I think the potential of some crazy shit happening.
It's
is
the
there.
fact that Kako's a winger.
I think he can play center, though. I'm pretty sure he can play center. Plus, the Hawks don't need a second line center anymore.
I'm just saying that they're not going to pick Kako over Hughes.
Oh.
But then He didn't have He at 4. He had Cole
After that, it's
Caulfield.
just a shit show.
He had Cole Caulfield at 4.
A lot of people have Caulfield 8, 9, 10.
He had Turcotte dropping all the way to like 8.
I like Turcotte. If the Hawks go forward, and obviously the top 2 are the top 2.
And who's the other forward that the Hawks are looking at?
Cousins, maybe?
Cousins. He had him like 14 or
really,
something.
I don't know.
He had him drop out a lot.
It's after the top 2, and then like even Byram, like even the top 3, the forwards are just a mess. Like I'm not saying.
Well, yeah, he said it's more tiers. He put them in tiers, like 1 and 2, obviously, and then 3, and then like 4 through 8.
I say 4 through 10 probably.
Yeah. But
I'm really interested to see what happens.
I really hope the Hawks draft Byram.
Yeah.
He says he's a bona fide number 1.
I would hope they draft him too. I mean, I know they need a second line forward, but I feel like
He also went as far to say none of the Hawks, they have a lot of defensive prospects, but none of them project to be a number 1.
Yeah, they at best number 2 right now. At best. And I like Yodi Haro. I think Yodi Haro can be a number 2. Right now, he might be their best defenseman, but that doesn't mean he should. Like, if they're competing for a cup, probably shouldn't be their best defenseman.
Right.
I don't know. It's scary.
I'm going to get to my GM one that made me think for a long time. Would you trade? I'll even tell you what the trade is. I just want your thoughts on it. So it's it's the Hawks. It's a trade with New Jersey, and it's they're trading for the Hawks will get Taylor Hall,
Jesus fucking Christ,
Pavel Zacha, and a 4th round pick.
We're trading away our first,
and we're trading away our first.
That's it. That's the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Were you originally going to tell me that?
Yeah.
That side of it? Yeah, we're easily trading away the first.
You would do that?
I don't know. Who is it? Hall?
Zacha, who's a solid center.
Is he?
He's
22, too.
Yeah. He's younger than I thought, actually.
And is that it? The 2
and
players?
And a 4th round pick.
That's tough. You're getting a first line left wing.
I don't
problems,
remember if he signed an extension.
I say Taylor Hall.
I just took the screenshot. I didn't read.
Do you know like the name of the guy or anything at all?
I don't know. Let me look. I don't think I have that either. It was the Jersey one. It wasn't.
It was a New Jersey one. That's why.
No, it doesn't show anything.
I wonder what the name of it was. Found it.
Yeah, this can't be many New Jersey ones.
This is trading for 3 pick. I don't know. It's hard.
Does it say
it's $300,000 retained.
Yeah, it doesn't mean much.
That means nothing. Someone said if there's an extension in place for a Hall deal.
Even then, though, if you extend him, though, that might mean you losing DeBrincat.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm thinking of, because he made $6 million right now, and he needs a new contract.
And he's gonna get a big raise. He just won the MVP last season.
$9 million, no problem. I mean, again, that's what the problem with this Stinner contract is.
But I mean, if you could find a trade partner for Anisimov for Saad.
Definitely have to get rid
of. You'd have to get rid of Murphy or
Mata, both of them. You have to get rid of both of them. And honestly, so at the trade deadline, so you have to accept the fact. Well, that's the hard part too. If there's an extension attached to Hall, that makes it a little easier because then because you can't make these moves if you don't have that extension because then he probably doesn't resign.
Yeah.
So if there's the extension in place. At the deadline, or before, you have to trade Saad, Anisimov, Murphy, and Mata, with the expectation that even if you make the playoffs, you're not going anywhere this year. Because of the expansion draft, you can't really bring your rookies up, even if they are ready. So that way, after this expansion draft next year, you have to full force. Hopefully Mitchell does sign, and Pete plays with the Hawks next year. Hopefully Bodkist is ready. At least 2 of the 3.
Yeah.
2 of the 3 need to be
And
rest.
then you're starting 2 rookie defensemen.
And this is assuming Yoti Haru is full-time playing by now, which if he's not. So that way you have Sievert, Keith, Yoti Haru, and this is obviously in no order, but Sievert, Keith, Yoti Haru, Mitchell, Bodges, that's 5.
And then one of Cuckoo.
Is Gustafson still around? Awesome, depending on how much he's making.
He's probably making too much to keep.
He's probably making too much, so you have to trade him. But then, yeah, Toot or Dahlstrom, Forsling for that. At that point, I don't fucking care. But at least...
Or you just sign a cheap Strawman for a mill or the old defenseman.
But then you use Keith and Siebert, which the only benefit of Siebert at this point is to mentor these kids. Because, I mean, he's a good leader at the very least.
Sign Hjalmarsson for 1 year, 1 mil.
Seriously. Like, get these people to mentor these kids, because then at that point, this is... So this is after next season. How much longer can Siebert possibly be on the puts for after that? Like, it can't be that much longer. Give me one. So this is after this net. So at this point, Siebert has 4 more years on his... Fucking Christ. 4 more years left on this deal, God damn it.
As of now?
No, after net season.
Ugh.
But only 2 seasons of no movement after that. So 2 years of these kids being on the team. After that, modified no trade, where he submits a 5-team trade list, and then after that, a 10-team. So hopefully at that point, you just find some shitty team that just hates him.
5-team, though.
Huh?
There's only 5 teams to choose from, though.
Where is he like to play? Where is he from?
Canada.
Ottawa, done. Please. Ottawa. You go
At
to
that
Ottawa.
point, Ottawa's a powerhouse.
You go to Ottawa and you're like, listen. Next time you really need someone to bail you out.
Hopefully Arizona's on that list.
We'll owe you. We will owe.
Hopefully Q's still in Florida. Yeah.
But that's not, they could make it work. It would be tough. Should they, though? I don't know.
Imagine that first line, though.
Imagine that second line with Zaka or whatever, if he is that good.
It depends. Well, you don't need Strom then.
But do you keep him?
It depends how much he wants.
I would say you move one of them to wing, whoever's worst at face-offs.
If they can.
I'm looking up his stats. I'm just curious now. He had 25 points in 61 games. So he's not really a scorer. Zaka.
How many does it show how many seasons he's played?
4. Well, 3, really. He played 1 game in his first season. So.
Well, what is that? Has he been getting steadily better, or
No.
the same?
Steady is one word for it. 24, 25, 25. 70 games, 69, 61.
Well, if he is getting better, it's less games.
Okay.
Steadily less games.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I'd do it.
But you got Taylor Hall
I
on the
like
line
Taylor
with
Hall.
Taze and Kane.
Oh my god.
Oof.
So free.
Imagine how many goals Taylor Hall's going to score.
Imagine
he's
how many
gonna put up
assists
50.
Patrick Kane's.
He's going to put up 50.
Yeah, he probably would with Kane on this line. And with Taze just doing the
Taze
dirty
is chipping shit, blocking a goalie.
Seriously. That's what you do if that's your line.
Yeah.
Taze is literally in front
Taze
of the
stand in
net.
front of the net.
He's an
Hey, we're going to dump this puck in, you go get it.
You do all the hard work, get no credit for it, and we win. And he would do it.
He'll get a new career high in points.
Probably. Yeah, I mean, I think you can make the money work. It's just, it's literally if you're willing to trade. It's trading a number 1 defenseman for Taylor Hall and another guy, assuming the Hawks do the right thing.
If you put it that way, I don't like it anymore.
You don't like? Oh, you don't want to make that trade anymore?
Yeah, I don't want to trade a number 1 because he's a
See,
left wing.
I was thinking if you put it that way, it makes it a little easier.
No, I like because the name Taylor Hall
Yeah.
means a lot more to me than
I don't know, just the mystery number 3 overall pick, like that, just number 3 overall, like that. Oh, that's so much potential right there.
Yeah. No.
But then when you attach the name of a prospect to it, for me, then it's like it loses. I mean, again,
I don't know. I don't think I do it.
I don't think I do either.
I think I want Byram more than I want Taylor Hall.
I like Taylor Hall. He's an MVP. Like, he won.
If Taylor Hall played this whole season and didn't screw my fantasy team over, I might have a different opinion. No, if he played the whole season though and like had another, it doesn't have to be an MVP year, but close to it.
I mean, everyone was getting 100 points this year. If he cracks 100 points,
yeah,
it's hard. It's really hard.
It's pretty much the same thing where everyone's saying, "Oh, sign Panarin for 10 mil." It's like, yeah, but do you want to lose DeBrincat to sign Panarin?
I don't think you. Because he probably does end up making 10 mil, right, Taylor Hall?
Yeah.
Because he's 28, right?
27, 28, yeah.
What does that contract look like? Yeah, I don't do it.
It's max years and
8 years,
at least 10 mil.
10 mil? Yeah, do you want that?
We already have 2 of those. If you trade for him, it might be 8.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Sign and trade. Okay, 7 years, 10 mil. Even 6 years, 10 mil. That's a lot of years for 10 mil. That means we have 3 players on the team making 10 mil. Holy fucking shit.
And Seabrook making 7.
And Seabrook making
6 point, whatever.
And then soon to be DeBrincat, potentially, like, especially with the salary cap going up and everything, he could easily make 10 mil. And not this contract.
Next one, yeah.
Next one.
Not this one, no.
It depends on what he does. If they do a shorter term contract with this one, like a 3-year contract, 3 years 6 mil, 3 years 7 mil, I think he could make himself worth 10 mil in those 3 years.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think I do it. It scares me. I like Byram. Please draft Byram.
Yeah, seriously.
Oh my God! Next week we're gonna be talking about.
Oh yeah, there's our last one before the draft.
Yeah, I completely, like I was saying, like, oh, next week's gonna be.
We really should have thought that out a lot more.
Yeah, you mean like actually looked at the draft in any way, shape, or form?
Went over like
weird
potential. I mean, I guess
we've done it before though. Plus,
I really want them to draft Byram.
We talked about other teams, but we mainly care about the Hawks, and I feel like we've beaten a dead horse with that one. We know, we've said multiple times, we want the Hawks to take. If they don't take the defenseman, we want them to take this guy.
See, I'm not that high on Turcotte. I really want.
Oh no, I mean,
Byram.
If they don't take Byram, I'm definitely disappointed. But if they have to choose out of all those forwards, I'd rather them take Turcotte. Just that. I don't want them to take Turcotte. But I'm just saying, when they don't take Byram, and I don't see Turcotte taken, I'm going to be extra pissed.
Well, Caulfield's supposed to be in the next DeBrincat.
Yeah, I know.
Can you imagine having 2 DeBrincats? One on the first line, one on the second line?
You know, DeBrincat's a great player, but he's a good goal scorer, and he's going to be a great player, and is a great player, but I want something more at number 3 overall. I want that number 1 defenseman.
I mean, it is crazy that DeBrincat win the second round.
Yeah, it's insane. See, that's what I'm saying. That I feel like, okay, you tell me you take DeBrincat 3rd overall, it takes away some of his value. No, it's just a little bit.
Not value, but
that hidden gem value of every team could have had him, but the Hawks got him.
Yeah. I don't know. How much is that really worth, though?
I just 3rd overall, I'm expecting a number 1
Strome?
center. What?
Strome? No, he was 3rd overall.
Leave me alone. I'm expecting like a number 1 defenseman, a number 1 center.
Taze.
Well, it's just hard too with McDavid being so recent still. Like, I'm not expecting McDavid obviously because
that would be 1st overall.
That'd be, well, you know what I mean, top 3. But even like with,
I think you're overrating the top 3, dude.
Probably, but top 3. You should be getting a player who's playing season 1 and making some sort of impact. If he's like with Strome, was he taken 3rd overall? Yeah, but I don't think Strome was ever like.
He didn't play right away,
But I don't think he was supposed to. Like, I don't think that draft was supposed to be as deep. Like, this draft doesn't have a McDavid.
I think this draft's supposed to be deep, but I don't think it's deep with like players playing their first, right.
I
right
feel
away.
like this draft doesn't have a McDavid, but it has like 3 Eichels or 2 Eichels, and then, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it could be a good one for sure.
I mean, none of them are guaranteed. Like, yeah, Caulfield could
I
come and
feel
play.
like this is the most I've heard about a draft in a long time.
I feel like this
But
is the
it
most
could
we've
just be
paid attention.
Yeah, that's
like as each year goes on, we pay more and more attention. But I would have to agree with you because even with the McDavid draft, you didn't hear about the draft; you heard about McDavid and how Buffalo was happy that they got the 2nd pick overall instead of the 1st because they'd rather have Eichel. Those were the headlines. That's it. You didn't we care, and especially if the Hawks didn't have this pick, if they were at 12 where they were supposed to be, I don't feel like we would be talking about it as much. Because then it would be like, I don't know who the fuck they're doing. Maybe they end up with Caulfield then. You have no idea where he's falling.
Yeah.
Maybe they end up with Turcotte. You don't know where those guys are falling. That's what I mean. That's why I want them to draft Byram. I feel like anyone besides Byram, all of those forwards,
You could have
they could have gotten one of them at 12, or they could have traded up to 8 and still got one of them. You know what I mean? At 3, in this draft specifically, because it's I've heard so many times now, it's 1, 2, and then it's 3. 1 and 2 aren't interchangeable, but they're close. It's obviously Hughes is supposed to be the better one, but can't sleep on Capo or Kako, or whatever you want to call him.
Capo. That's both.
Yeah, I
both
just
of them
don't
are
know.
his names.
I don't. No. And then it's 3, Solo's 3, he is 3, and then it's everyone else. So seeing the Hawks not take 3 is going to be disappointing.
Yeah.
Because I don't think they're going to do it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Don't end on that. Don't end on that.
Prepare your heart for heartbreak.
Well,
it's going to happen. And they're going to draft Cousins. Or Doc. Aren't both those guys big?
Yeah.
They're going to draft a big second-line center.
That's not really Stan Bowman's style.
He's going to, though. He's worried about his job, and he's going to.
Well, I think that about does it. That about does it for this episode of Socially Hawkward.
Episode 22.
Episode 22.
Why is this stuck over there?
The last pre-draft episode.
Which we did not plan for at all.
Yeah, so next week we'll be talking about how sad we are that the Hawks didn't pick Bowen Byram.
Yeah, they drafted Dr. Cousins. Bet me. Bet me.
or that they traded that pick for Taylor Hall.
Well, I would be. See, I wouldn't be as upset, though. That at least has a little bit of. You know what I mean? I don't know.
So tune in next week, and hopefully our hearts won't be broken.
Bye.